The fact I'm a football coach. It's a competitive thing. I despise for people to beat us.
To Elliott, who goes sweeping to the left side. Gets to the 20, loose to the 30, to the 40, down the left side to the 50 goes Elliott. He's going to take it to the house. 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Ezekiel Elliott. 85 yards. Back is Dorsey to throw. And he throws it in the end zone. It's incomplete. The Buckeyes win the national championship.
It's Everything Buckeye Nation, the voice of the fan, with your hosts, Jake Smith and Corey Boyd.
Welcome in, everybody, to a very special week, a special edition of the Everything Buckeye Nation show here, a Producer G production on Fan Chat Nation. I'm your host, as always, Jake Smith. Next to me, Corey Boyd, and the birthday boy, Producer G.
Yes, sir.
Running the show behind the desk.
No days off.
That's why we're a little behind.
Hey, happy
Busy
birthday,
celebrating.
Producer G.
Give us some shout-outs in the comments for Producer G, the man that makes it all happen. Laura BP, the first, as always.
Kawhi has made it from Everything Browns Nation over to Everything Buckeyes. He was laughing all weekend, and now he is here.
Welcome in, everybody. Glad to have you here with us on the Everything Buckeye Nation show live here on Facebook and YouTube, of course.
Yeah.
Shameless plug to get over to our YouTube page, search Everything Buckeye Nation, give us that like and that subscribe. Trying to blow it up. There you go.
That's what it
no
looks like.
No glare on the TV.
And we got a couple comments on the YouTube. Make sure you head over to there, and I'm going to shout them out right now. Trigger740 says, what up, Buckeyes? And Scooter B Blog says, yo, happy B-Day.
Happy B-Day. Happy birthdays flying in. Laura BP, Owen Bradley, Carrie Lynn, my mama, Tisha Smith, and Clinton Masters from Miamisburg. Happy birthday, G.
Appreciate all those birthday shout-outs.
A smooth 21 for Producer G today.
Smooth.
Plus 10.
Plus 10. All right, folks. Well, let's get right to it.
Kawhi just laughing all over the place.
So, big show for this evening. Of course, there is quite the large sporting event this weekend that everybody is excited about. We will get to that, of course.
The ping pong tournament. That's going to be crazy.
I can't wait. I'm pretty good at ping pong.
Me too.
Yeah. I was undefeated at my in-laws' Hocking Hills outing a couple weeks ago. Just saying. So we'll get to some college football playoff rankings. The new ones just came out a little bit ago. Talk a little bit about Ohio State beating Maryland on Saturday. Not a whole lot because it's all about this weekend.
I'm going to give a big I.O. to Big C Got Game on YouTube.
Big C Got Game.
And he says, what's going on, fellas?
What's up?
And Wild says, sup, Buckeyes.
What's up?
All YouTube, thank you. Make sure you subscribe on Everything Buckeye Nation on that YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button. Let's go.
Hit it. Brian, rather. Brian Blagg, OHIO, baby. Robert Collins says ESPN has OSU at 9-1. Or is that 9-1 odds to beat that team up north? Let me know, Robert. Appreciate you. Gary Hackworth, go Bucks from Kentucky, and Carrie Lynn. How about we talk about how Citadel scores more points on Bama than the two currently ranked teams they played? I love it. Well, let's get right into the college football playoff rankings then. They just came out a little bit ago. Ohio State remains steady at number 10. Are you surprised? Let us know. I'm not really surprised. I mean, we didn't look like world beaters against Maryland, so there we are at number 10. I'm not too worried about it right now. I don't know. I mean, whether we blew them out or got beat, I don't think it was really making that much of a difference. So, I don't know. I'm not worried about number 10. Pretty much everybody's the same. We've got Alabama number 1, of course. Clemson 2, Notre Dame 3, Michigan 4, and then what? Georgia at 5, Oklahoma 6. Pretty standard. I don't think LSU moved from 7. You'll see them on your screen in a moment. But right now, all I'm really worried about is this weekend. It's nice to talk about the playoffs. Playoffs. David Campbell says LSU is a joke at 7. And I can't disagree with you. Chris Davis, cough, cough. Happy holidays, Buckeyes. Thank you.
He's a Go Blue fan.
Oh.
My guy Chris. He's a Go Blue fan.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
They're going to be flooding into this stream today. It's their year.
That's fine. This is their year, they say. And you know what's funny is if they don't do it, how funny is this going to be? This is the year. Harbaugh's finally got his guys. They're coming in, and props to them. They have a very good football team. They look like a very talented team, and they're going to give the Buckeyes everything they can handle on Saturday.
Yeah, they are.
But
They are. Like I have said,
we'll wait and see.
this is their best team.
Yeah, it's their best team.
Yeah. Looking at YouTube, Trigger 740 says OSU 35, Michigan 28.
Take it.
And Big C Got Games has not shot. UCF is undefeated when we beat the team up north, and when the Big Ten Championship will be in at number 4.
Hey, everything is really ahead of us as long as we take care of business. And, you know, I've seen a lot of people say, and this is something that I've seen a lot, do we even want to be in at this point? And it really is a tough call because, of course, you don't want to get embarrassed on a national stage. You never want that. But would you rather take an easy bowl game, you know, just off to the side where you're playing for a bronze medal? Mm-hmm. Or would you like a chance with one of the best coaches in college football history and one of the most talented rosters we've ever had? Take a chance, right? I mean, would you turn down an opportunity to play Alabama? Maybe, because we might get worked. But I don't know.
Woo!
You play out. I mean, that was the thing a couple years ago. We took care of business against that team up north, and we beat the piss out of Wisconsin, 59-0. Now it'll probably take something along those lines to get into the playoff, but that's all right. And then if we get in, we deserved it.
Bama's no Wisconsin.
Well, no. Well, that's okay. That is okay. Comments here in the Facebook group. Janelle Armstrong, I'm not surprised about the ranking. I don't care as long as we beat that team up north. Clinton says, OU has given up a ton of points too, but what do we expect? Ohio against the world. I do think it's interesting that Oklahoma remains at number 6 after giving up 40 points to Kansas. 3-8 Kansas on Saturday. But they have Kyler Murray, so unbelievable, really. But it's okay. It's all right. I really don't mind. Andrew Gowen says, surprised they didn't get moved to 12 or 13. Lord BP says it was expected. Char Miller, not surprised at all. They hate us. They hate us because they ain't us. Would you agree with that, Corey?
No.
No.
No. I'm trying to stay calm here.
Okay.
I'm trying. Because if you watched our play-by-play on Saturday, I almost had a heart attack.
You did off there after we signed off.
Yeah. So I know we're talking rankings, so I'm trying to just – I mean, you know, we're number 10. Here nor there. Saturday is it. This is it. I mean, whatever we do Saturday, that's going to be it. I could care less where we are right now. Number 10, that's fine. Do we deserve to go up? Heck no. No, not at all. I'm kind of shocked we didn't go down, to be honest with you.
Sure.
I mean, with that performance, but I'm trying to stay calm. And relax until we do talk about what happened on Saturday. But right now, we're talking rankings. I believe 10 is, you know, it's okay. We stayed where we're at. After that performance, there is no need to be to me, there's no need to be upset about anything.
No, and it was really, it was a surprising game. So, like you said, this weekend is all that matters. So let's get past the rankings. Let's just go into and recap Ohio State, Maryland real quick. We'll get that out of the way. We'll give out our Buckeye leaves, and then we'll talk about what everybody wants to talk about.
Before you get there, I'm sorry. Because we get more, as we grow the nation, we get more viewers, and we love it. So I don't want to leave our YouTube viewers out of the conversation. Big C got games has not shot. UCF is undefeated. I read that one. My bad.
You read that
My
one.
bad one. He said, do you think Notre Dame will beat USC this weekend? Yes. I just want to leave it simple at that. Yes.
Book it.
No analysis. Book it. Highlight it. Put it in italicized. Boom. Yes, they will.
There you go.
And thank you for watching on YouTube. We appreciate you guys.
Hit that
Subscribe
button
button
for us, please. Please, please, please. Thank you. In advance. Is that it?
That's it. It's all
Okay.
right.
All right. Well, let's talk Ohio State, Maryland.
All right. All right.
Remaining calm. 52-51 in overtime, folks. I have under initial reactions here, what the hell was that? And B, that was the weirdest game I've ever seen. There were so many things going wrong in that game, going away from the Buckeyes' favor. I couldn't believe it. There was just ridiculous plays. Tough Borland recovers a fumble, but somehow it squirts out of his hands, and we don't get it. Random weird turnovers, strange penalty calls. It was just a very strange game. Somehow they hung together on the back of Dwayne Haskins Jr. and J.K. Dobbins. It was the first, we'll get to some stats. I'll read them out here. Dwayne Haskins, 405 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. Also had 59 rushing yards and another 3 touchdowns. 464 and 6 touchdowns for Simba. J.K. Dobbins, 37 carries, 203 yards, 1 touchdown. First time in Ohio State football history that there have been a 400-yard passer and a 200-yard rusher in the same game. Now, there's only one other guy who's ever thrown for 400 yards in Ohio State history. But that's neither here nor there. That's ridiculous right there. 400 and 200, same cats in the backfield. I think the most surprising thing about Maryland was I wasn't surprised that our defense looked like shit because they're garbage. The most surprising thing was that J.K. Dobbins carried the ball 37 times. Mike Weber apparently had a hamstring injury. Well, that was a quad bruise, I believe they called. Mm-hmm. Where did that come from?
I don't know.
We didn't hear that at all.
Right, didn't hear it at all.
So that was really surprising to me. 37 carries for the kid. It'll be interesting to see what Ohio State does this week with the Wolverines' stout rush defense. Will they give it to Mike Weber, similar to Michigan State, where he kind of carried the load against that tough defense, and maybe they were resting him? I don't know. Remains to be seen.
Okay. Let me start here.
All right. I'm sorry. I thought you were taking it.
Read a couple comments here. Kerry Lynn said, how do we stay so calm watching that game? Behind the scenes, Miss Lynn, there was no calm going on. When that halftime came on, I almost lost my mind. It took everything in my power to not lose it when we were doing the play-by-play. I just wanted to get that off. I almost lost my mind watching that game.
There were some choice, colorful words that were not broadcast on our airwaves.
And my man Chris, you're right. Nothing is book it when it comes to anything can happen in football.
Sure.
Notre Dame could lose. I think they're going to win, though. They've been playing very great football.
Sure.
But Notre Dame could lose. You're right. They could lose. I don't think they're going to lose. I'm pretty confident, but they could. Now let's get down to business.
Yeah.
Maryland, Ohio State. I'm going to pull the rubber band off the cut.
Uh-oh.
Listen.
Uh-oh.
That was terrible. Let's say what it is. We can all be kumbaya about it. That was the most pathetic performance I've seen in a while. Now, Purdue's one thing. You have your one stinker. Okay. We brush it off. We come back out. And then we handle business the rest of the games. What I watched on Saturday was atrocious. There is not one player on the defense side of the ball that I'd even thought about giving a Buckeye leaf. Not one. I didn't think about it. I didn't go, well, no. Not one. That was the worst. I think that's the worst defensive performance I've seen in a while. And I'm not counting Purdue because nobody came into this game and said, well, Maryland may give us some trouble. Not one person, and if they did, they just hate Ohio State, or they're family of Maryland players.
Sure.
And I can understand that. Not one player, not one person said, you know what? That Maryland team right there,
Look out for the Terrapins.
man, they're going to drop 51 on Ohio State. Nobody said that. And if you did, man, you should have went to Vegas because you're going to be rich. Nobody said that.
No.
The defense was atrocious. One man by himself literally almost beat us. And let's be real. If that coach didn't decide to be, I'm going to be Houdini now and stop what was beating Ohio State, we could have a different outcome. I'm sorry if I'm hurting feelings. I'm just trying to keep it real. Okay? He decided to take the ball out of he's a young man. The young man who was beating Ohio State. He had 299 yards on the ground. And what do? You get cute. You go Pete Carroll. Let's pass the ball. Hey, I'm happy. I'm a Buckeye fan. We won. I'll take it. A win is a win. But if we're going to gloss over the fact that we let Maryland Terrapins run up and down the field like it was nothing, and we were a 2-point conversion away from, this is a totally different conversation.
This is an
everybody
show.
is on fire. Fire everybody. Fire the water people. Fire the towel, the equipment. Everybody's going off if he runs the ball. If he runs the ball, but he got cute. And I don't care if he was wide open. It doesn't matter because your quarterback is not known for throwing the ball. You run him. What are you doing? I'm not a results-based person. I'm a facts person. And that man ran 299 yards on our defense. That is inexcusable. I wanted to puke, and you see me when I got off camera. I held it up.
It was a sight to behold.
And when I got off camera, I lost my mind. And if you can call me a spoiled fan all you want, I was here when we were terrible. That's unexcusable. We're playing the team up north next, ladies and gentlemen. We better get that out of our system. I know it's going to be a different story. It's a rivalry. Anything can happen. I get it. 299 yards to one man, McFarland in Maryland. Inexcusable. A freshman, and if I'm a spoiled fan, you can label me spoiled. That is terrible.
Take a drink of water after that.
I'm done now.
He's absolutely right, though. I mean, it really was a pathetic performance by the defense. It seemed like our players were constantly out of position. Constantly. It's not that they weren't, not just that they weren't making plays, but they were completely lost out there. I don't know what Shiano's got going on in that defensive room, but some changes need to be made, that's for sure, and that's a ton I've seen in the comment section here is what is up with Greg Schiano? What is going on? If this was Bama, people would be fired. There are a ton of comments in here. I'll shout out some names. Shelly Wentz, Olin Bradley in here, as always, our guy. Stephen Michael, what's up, fellas? My son Brax wanted to give you guys a shout out. Love your show. Thank you, Stephen. And
Thank
Brax.
you.
I wonder if Brax is named after your guy.
I hope so.
Clinton says nobody contained the edges. Ken Howe said he's dizzy because we switched spots.
These are our original
These were the
spots. I don't know
original.
what happened last week. See, that probably was an omen
You know
right
what
there.
happened?
We were in the wrong spots too.
Hey,
Oh my goodness.
am I gonna sit here on Saturday?
Oh, you're on your right side this
All right.
Saturday.
My side. I sat down to eat some lunch.
That's
before the
what
show
it
came
was,
on.
yeah.
We're kind of running late, so here we go. We will be here Saturday at noon for your viewing pleasure. Join us in the watch party on Facebook and YouTube. Leave us your comments. Give us a like and a share. We'll be here at noon on Saturday for the game. So when the commentators are getting on your nerves, listen to a couple homers. We appreciate you.
And we try to keep it as real as we can. And I try not to lose my mind.
He does a good job.
But come on over to the YouTube stream, Everything Buckeye Nation. Subscribe. We will be doing play-by-play for the big game, Ohio State versus the team up north.
We got Laura's very excited that we'll be here on Saturday. I'm pretty pumped too. Whoa, my comment section is blowing up.
Yeah, get to them. I got a couple over here once you're done.
Do it.
All right. YouTube is still, they're watching. We appreciate everybody on YouTube who is watching. Make sure you get that subscribe button, please. Big C Got Game says, I think Mike and JK will split those carries this week. Would love to see DeMario get more touches. Ohio State, this is from Wild, Ohio State would be a lot better if they still had Nick Bosa. Also, here you go.
Uh-oh.
I like your shirt, Jake.
Yeah.
You got one from Wild.
Right.
I like your shirt.
Corey always gets the compliments. Man, and Natasha already said, I saw Natasha earlier, Corey, that outfit is fire. I'm like, damn. I wore this. I've been saving this shirt for 6 weeks, man. Come on. Thank you, Wild. Thank you.
And Big C Got Game says, keep it 100%. Laugh out loud. Big facts. And Buckeye Nation says, I feel like Nick Bosa was the whole defense. Ever since we lost him, our defense has been trash. Also, what about Chase Young's performance? I don't care about Chase Young's performance. I'm sorry. That may sound mean.
He's on that defense.
That may sound mean to me, but boy, to me, Nick Bosa, woo! Maybe he knew something we didn't. He said, you know this groin area right here? Right here?
Yeah.
This groin area right here?
Yeah.
You think I'm going to come back 80% where I know I'm the man? I got to pull this load on this defense? Nah.
I'll go get $30 million guaranteed.
Listen, 51 points. I'm not calling anybody out in that defense. I know. Who am I? You just yell on the mic. You don't play football. That's okay. 51 points. You get no shout out from me.
I think that's fair. Completely fair. And I don't think we have a graphic for our Buckeye leaves, so we can bring those up after I read these stats. Of course, Haskins again, 405 and 3 touchdowns, another 59 on the ground, 15 carries from Haskins. That's something he said after, because it was a week after. Now, I know.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But after he got benched for Tate Martell in some running situations against Michigan State, I think he was pissed. And he was asked about it, and he was like, I understand it's for the betterment of the offense, but it's pretty frustrating I'm not out there. So maybe in the week leading up to Maryland, he was like, all right, I'm running the ball. Let's go. He didn't seem hesitant this week running the ball. And he said that's something he's going to be doing a lot more. And if it works out, then great. I know it's not his first priority, and that's fine. But if he can pull it, 5 to 8 times a game and get positive yards, lower that big frame down, I'm all for it. 464 yards and 6 touchdowns for Dwayne Haskins. 203 yards on 37 carries for Dobbins with a score. Terry McLaurin played great. 4 grabs, 113 and a score. Johnny Dixon, 6 grabs, 102. Ben Victor with a big touchdown at the end. KJ Hill, 5 catches, 39, and a touchdown. Our bold predictions were pretty much way off score-wise.
Yeah, way off. Way off.
He had Haskins going for 290 and 3 scores. You can double that pretty much.
Right.
And I do want to give a shout-out to Demario McCall. I think somebody mentioned on YouTube. McCall had we thought it was over. At the very end, we scored with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left or 3 minutes or so left. And we were like, all right, let's make a stop. We'll get it back, and we'll win the ball game. And their first play goes for 65-yard touchdown. I was like, bro, are you kidding me? And then they kick off. Demario McCall brings it out to the 50-yard line for us. A huge spark. McCall takes over for Johnny Dixon on kickoff return. A huge burst. We give Haskins a short field. He goes down the field, ties the game up with a beautiful throw to Victor. You called it, by the way, in our play-by-play. You're like, Ben Victor up at the top, single coverage. Throw the big guy the ball. He comes down with it. The Buckeyes pull it out in overtime.
Yes.
We'll get some comments.
Looking at the comments here on Facebook, Brian McGee says there's no leadership on the team. They're flat and bland. David said Haskins showed energy, fired up versus Maryland.
He
finally
was fired up.
Hopefully carries over this week. Then Brian came back and said, look at what it took to get them fired up.
Great call. Great call, Brian.
And then we got David Top, Scott Bowman, our guy John Goddard, and Mike Rodabush all in the comment section.
Appreciate you, folks. Certainly do. And if you haven't yet, get over to our YouTube page. Please give us that subscription, Everything Buckeye Nation. It means the world to us.
And we have, one on YouTube. Wild says on YouTube, who's better, Haskins or Barrett? Question mark.
Well, it depends on what you want to do, what kind of offense you want to run.
For Urban Barrett, I'm just gonna say it.
Oh yeah,
I'm just gonna say it. Like I'm a Haskins guy, but I'm gonna keep it real. Urban wants to run his quarterback.
Well, here's the question: is it who's the better quarterback for Urban Meyer? JT Barrett, obviously. Who's the more talented quarterback is Dwayne Haskins. But JT Barrett had, he's more of a runner and he's a winner. His leadership off the charts. You're not going to find another guy like JT Barrett. And that fills it. He's a huge void from that locker room.
Yes.
So, that might be a little bit a part of our struggles this year, that there's no JT Barrett to save us.
That's a very good point.
And he always got the short end of the stick from the fans and myself.
Myself too.
Sure. But that boy was a winner. Yeah, the
quarterback position at Ohio State is very, very hard, especially with the fans. If you have a backup who is talented, he is the most popular person on the team.
Put in Tate Martell.
Now.
Come on. Give me a break. Haskins going to be making millions next year. Even though they say, oh, well, he should probably stay. And now we hear, oh, well, he's probably going and Urban Meyer's gone, by the way. Like, we got a big game this weekend, folks. Let's dish out our Buckeye leaves real quick.
Buckeye leaves?
I don't think we have graphics or anything. They don't really matter. You know who it's going to be.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
My guy, Dwayne Haskins. My Buckeye leaf goes to Dwayne Haskins. I told you nobody on the defense got a sniff of a Buckeye leaf player of the game mention, and if that's wrong, oh well. 28-38, 405, 3 touchdowns, 15 carries, a career high 59 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had a very, very, very slow motion Braxton Miller juke. Dive to the end zone for a touchdown.
He's still moving.
He was trying very hard to run against Maryland. All that for a 1-point win.
Looking ahead to next week, perhaps. My guy, J.K. Dobbins. I mean, the dude, I don't know when they found out that Mikey wasn't going to play, but Dobbins had to carry the load for the both of them. 37 carries. Hell, you could see it 5 minutes into the second half. He was gassed. Dobbins was getting carries, getting tackled for 5-yard gains, and, he should have only gotten 2 on it. He's given everything he had the whole game, and Dobbins is my guy. 203 and a score.
203 and a score.
37 carries.
Clyde rolled over to YouTube.
Hey,
thanks for being on YouTube.
Let's go.
Hit that subscribe button. He said the defense should lose Buckeye leaves.
All right, we'll take him off. And we'll remove the tally here from earlier in the season. But seriously, man. Oh, Robert Collins said, how about Dwayne Haskins to New Orleans take over for Drew Brees?
Take a couple years. I'll take that.
I'd pass out.
You know what? Then that would be my second team. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. They got 2. I talked to a Saints fan today. It came into my work. I said, the New Orleans Buckeyes, they're right there for me at number 2 because too many Buckeyes making plays on that team for me not to watch them week in and week out. We got a lot of comments in here on the Facebook page as well. Zach Kaiser, our guy in here. Robert Collins, of course, John Goddard. Shelly Wentz, Clay Lodeman, and Zach Kaiser again. Clay says the defense isn't what we're used to seeing on the field. As Buckeye fans, they're not going to become the defenses of the past in 1 week. He's right. Over the past few years, we've been accustomed to seeing guys come along through the season where, at the beginning of the season, they'll make a couple big plays, and then at the end of the year, you got a Darren Lee. Like, damn, this dude is a stud out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And we don't really have any of those guys this year. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's coaching. Maybe the players just aren't what we thought they were, which is fine. But, it is a little frustrating at times.
I'm sorry. I love our fans. Read Zach Kaiser's comment over there for me.
Oh, man. I give a Buckeye leaf to Greg Schiano. He did a hell of a job trying to hand that game to Maryland. Yay, coach. He needs a terrapin leaf or something for that one because that was rough. Scott Bowman says this game will come down to the O-line. Well, should we get to it?
Go ahead.
We'll get to a little bit of
Buckeyes
in the NFL. I mean, what do we got all?
Because once we go to the game,
we're
probably going to the game.
All right, so we'll wrap up around the college football landscape. We'll talk a little bit about some Buckeyes in the NFL real quick, and then it's all the game. So let's get to it. College football wasn't super exciting this past weekend. Pretty much everybody took care of business. West Virginia did lose to Oklahoma State, which was, kind of interesting. Maybe we'll move up. No, because we look like shit. Number 15, Texas beat number 16, Iowa State. And with West Virginia's loss, Texas is in the driver's seat in the Big 12 to get to that title game. Top games of this weekend. Number 6, Oklahoma. I don't know where West Virginia fell to in the new poll, but Oklahoma is at West Virginia Friday night at 8 p.m. on ESPN. That is an exciting one. The winner will go to the Big 12 title game to play Texas. So a little pseudo playoff game there. That's kind of fun. Unless Texas loses to Kansas, which I don't see happening. Either way, be an exciting game. Oklahoma, West Virginia, take the over in that one, I would have to say. You got Washington at Washington State. The winner of that game will play in the Pac-12 title game, and that's an exciting one also on Friday. Rivalry week, not a huge one this year other than the game. Auburn kind of sucks at Alabama. South Carolina definitely sucks at Clemson. And Notre Dame is at USC, and they are too garbage.
Yes, they are. You got a couple comments over on the YouTube. We want to appreciate you guys for watching here on our Everything Buckeye Nation's YouTube page. If you're on Facebook and you haven't liked our Everything Buckeye Nation YouTube page, get over there. Hit a like. Hit a subscribe.
Help us out.
We'll be there this Saturday calling the game.
We will be.
Whew.
We'll be here with you live.
Woo.
You are looking live.
Yeah, so we cast multicast on Facebook and YouTube, live streaming every week here, 7:30 to 9. Make sure you're here with us.
Please join
as
us.
I lose my mind. Wild
Saturday,
says,
it's going to be a challenge.
if Haskins isn't playing well against Michigan, do you think Urban will put in Martell?
That's an interesting question because the past 4 years or so, we knew that was never going to happen because he had so much loyalty to JT Barrett. And he had proven time and time again, he's not going to pull him even if he's playing like trash. But this is a little bit of a different story. Haskins has only been a starter this is his first full year as a starter. So he's got, 11 games under his belt. And if something's not going well, maybe he'll make a play. Maybe he'll say, all right, we can't run the ball. We need to run the ball. Let's put Tate in there, and we'll run some read option and see what's going on. That would really surprise me, but I would say it's more possible now than if JT Barrett were still on the team.
Yeah, I think even if he's not playing well, I think he may put him in situationally. Depending on what's going on, red zone, 3rd and short, 4th and short. Because I still think he wants to put him in to change the pace when we have to get short yards. So Michigan just can't listen. Get Dobbs. Get Weber. Just so they have something to think about. So I still think he might put him in even if Haskins is having a good game. But the situation calls for maybe a more mobile quarterback. And Haskins just is going to have to live with that.
Well,
unless he gets some blazing speed here in the next.
Michael Egan had a good comment on the Facebook page. Not only in the red zone, Haskins has proved he is big in the clutch and late moments. Haskins did. I mean, the offense, shout out to the offense on Saturday because they were fantastic and they responded well to a horrifying defensive performance. The Buckeyes were down 14 3 separate times, and Haskins brought them back. 464 total yards, 6 touchdowns. That is ridiculous no matter who you're playing. And maybe it was the home state. Maybe it was that Maryland crowd, getting under his skin a little bit. And if that's what it needs to happen to get him fired up, then let's go. But this weekend, I think I'm really hoping that there's been a change in the mindset of these Buckeyes. And I think there will be because it is the game. It's not just Maryland. It's not just some other Big Ten foe. It's time for the game. And that means something to these kids.
All right. Got some comments over there before we get started? I'm sure you do.
Yeah, I got a few. A lot of people are worried. Clay Lodeman says we should use Tate Martell the way New Orleans uses Taysom Hill.
They use him.
Put Tate on kick return. And Jonathan Guerin says we need to line him up at slot. So we have a surprise Wildcat formation. Everybody, let us know how you're feeling about the game this weekend. We'll get to the preview here in just a moment. Yeah, Clay says Haskins is not the problem. Kerry says that team up north's red zone defense is trash, but allow the fewest trips to the red zone. Ohio State needs to take advantage of it. They need to use tempo, hurry to the line, forcing the Wolverines to prepare for a snap right away. Use the quick passing game to neutralize their blitz. That's damn good.
That's a good analysis.
Kerry, we got to get you on the show in here in between us.
That's a good analysis.
All right, folks. Well, let's get to it. The game, 12 p.m. on Fox this Saturday. The Wolverines are favored by 3.5.
Is Gus Johnson?
Are you surprised by that?
Gus Johnson on the call?
Gus Johnson and Joel Klatt on the call.
Uh-oh.
But you don't want to listen to them. You want to listen to
We may have
us.
a little competition.
I know. I was just thinking about that. Zach Kaiser says, how about Demario McCall on the Wildcat? Lee Travis, been worried more than I've been in a long time, and that's okay. Here is what I'm kind of holding my hat on. A little bit of history for you guys. This is the first time since 2004 that the Wolverines have been favored in the Horseshoe. Previous time was 1994, and the Buckeyes won both of those matchups by double digits. That's nice. A little bit of history.
Nice little
Urban
history.
Meyer has never been a home dog at Ohio State. Hasn't been a home dog since 2003 at Utah. Damn.
Yeah.
And we've been underdogs, 6 times under Urban Meyer? 6-0. He's a master motivator. He'll use every little thing he can get.
Boy, I hope he's pulling out everything.
Wolverines
Some
favored
fairs.
by 3.5.
Pulling out some soup packets, Sperry dust.
Whatever he's got to do, we need it. Scott Bowman says, try a trick play or two. And John Goddard says, hairball eats soup with a fork. He does strike me as somebody who would do that. John Harbaugh, Jim Harbaugh, whoever it is. Screw him.
Carrie Lynn says her FB app is messing up. Well, Carrie, if that happens, just go over to YouTube. Everything Buckeye Nation is there as well. We're on a lot of platforms. Or hit refresh.
Yeah, F5 is your friend. Scott Ferguson says, could you at least Photoshop that letter in the background and make it upside down? That's a job for a producer, G, but it looks better this way. Yeah. I'm glad I got the Ohio State logo on my side.
That means W. I don't like that. That means win.
That's true. Wow. He said, turn the M upside down. Well, Corey says that means, no. He says that means W. He doesn't like that.
Yeah, I do have the M behind me. That's ill.
So, as if Urban Meyer wanted some more bulletin board material by the fact that they are coming in for the first time in 14 years as underdogs to the shoe, or in the shoe, should I say. Michigan captain and senior tailback Karan Higdon had a little bit of something interesting to say yesterday. I don't know if you heard about this.
I heard about it.
Kind of interesting. He was they say he was forced into it, but I don't think so.
Did somebody put a gun to his head?
No.
All right. That's the only time in life when you're forced to do anything.
There you go.
I don't want to hear that mess. I'm getting started already. Go ahead.
Okay. Senior running back for the Wolverines, Karan Higdon, guaranteed a victory over the Buckeyes yesterday. Now, here's the scenario. They're at the press conference. The presser says, the interviewer says, hey, your coach guaranteed a win over Ohio State when he was playing here. Would you do the same? And he was like, what? And he said, what would your coach have to say if you guaranteed a win? Blah, 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 blah. And he stopped and he thought for a second. He looked over at the sports information director to make sure, like, we good? Like, I'm not going to screw anything up here. Is it okay? Do I have your permission? And he says, he said something about, yeah, why not? He said, I don't think I have the exact quote here, but they asked him, would you guarantee victory like your coach did? And he said, why not? I'm confident in my teammates, our coaching staff, our game plan. As a senior captain, sure, why not? So he wasn't up there saying, I guarantee we beat those Buckeyes. But they kind of asked him, it was a leading question, sure. Right. But he paused, he thought about it, and then he said, yeah, I do. Why not? That's just... And Urban said he hadn't heard about that. No, he doesn't care about that. He's not going to use that. You believe that for 1 second?
No.
I don't. I don't believe it for 1 minute.
No. You got a couple comments here.
Hit him.
Scott Bowman says, this is a great show. I'm glad I found it.
Hey,
and
Scott,
Michael
thanks.
Egan is fed up.
Uh-oh.
He says, Indiana was up 17-15 at half versus Michigan last week. We need to start fast and score first. Sick of deferring to the second half every game, and the other team goes right down and scores first.
That's a great point, Michael.
He wants the ball,
Give me the
flea
ball.
flicker, first play,
Hey.
Paris Campbell,
Hey.
touchdown. Now, he didn't say all that. I audibled a little bit there, but he wants the ball first is what he's
Sign me
saying.
up. It would be nice because it does seem we defer every week, and the other team seems to get the ball first every week and then score. And it's like Buckeyes trail 7-0, 13-42 left in the first quarter. It's like, damn. Can we get out to a fast start? That would be very nice. If we really get that. I mean, the crowd's going to be fired up. The crowd's going to be good until that first kind of swing in momentum in favor of the Wolverines. Then it gets kind of quiet in the shoe a little bit sometimes. So we need to start fast, keep pressuring the Wolverines on offense and defense, keep the crowd in it, and I think we'll be all right. We got some comments here talking about Colin Cowherd saying Urban's done. If we have time at the end of the show, we might get to that, but I'm not worried about that because he's coaching the Buckeyes this Saturday against the Wolverines.
I'm worried about this game.
Yeah.
That is it.
That's it, man. In regards to the guarantee, Michael Egan said they baited him and he took it. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't.
Hey,
Yeah. But hey.
this is the team up north. I have no sympathy for anybody. I don't listen. I don't care. To me, that's a guarantee. You guaranteed it. I don't care if they baited you. I don't care if they spoon-fed you. You said it. All right.
And he thought about it, too. You know, it's not like he was just kind of going along and saying he stopped and was like, you know what? Yeah, I do guarantee it. Careful what you wish for, Chief. Now, it is very true that this is the Wolverines' best team that Harbaugh has had, I believe. And he comes into the shoe. I'm very glad that it's a home game for the Buckeyes. I'd feel real bad if we were heading up that way. So we get them at home. That's good. Let me get a few stats here. The Wolverine defense is pretty much consensus best in the nation. Their defense ranks number 1 in total yardage allowed and in pass defense, and number 4 in scoring defense. They have not given up more than 24 points in a game this year. I think that happens on Saturday, though. I think if the Buckeyes score 30 points, we'll get to our bold predictions near the end of the show. But I think if the Buckeyes score 30 points, that'll be enough. And it's hard to say that with the way our defense has been playing, but this defense, the Wolverine offense is more like Michigan State than they are Maryland. They don't spread it around too much. Now they do. They run a little read option. They'll do a little misdirection, and that's fine. But I think we'll be more ready for that than we were against Maryland.
If I'm them, I'd do that all day until they stop it.
Sure.
Seriously.
Why not?
You just seen what happened. Now, that's, of course, different team, different opponent, rivalry, but come on.
Oh, God. You see a John Goddard's comment down here? I'm not going to read that one.
I mean, but coming into this game, listen, let's keep it all the way real.
All right.
That's what I'm here for. All the way real on both sides of the coin. Michigan should win. Let's be real. This is their best team. This is their best chance. But I tell you what, I don't want to hear nothing else if they don't pull this off. I don't want to hear nothing else. I don't want to hear a next year. I don't want to hear a where. Shut it. Nothing.
Ohio refs.
I've heard because I've seen it all week. This is our year. Ohio State stinks. The defense stinks, which it does. The defense does stink. I'll give you that. But listen, we're favored to lose. This is the best team they've had in years. He's finally got their guys. That's it. They have the better. They have played better than Ohio State has.
Sure.
They have played better. Now, I believe we have better talent.
Yeah.
Hadn't showed up that way. Collectively.
Yeah.
Hadn't showed up that way. So, this is it. To me, more pressure is on them.
Oh, by
It
far.
really is. If you win, like nothing is guaranteed, but you're in the college football playoff.
Pretty much.
Because there's nobody on the other side of the Big Ten that's beating you. You're in. This is it. Everything on the table. Everybody's saying Urban's out the door. Every time he squats, he's going to quit. Is his brain going to fall out of his head? It's over. He's retiring. Every time he squats, Phil Baum's doing a live stream talking about Ohio State.
Did you see this?
It's over. This is the worst. So this is it. This is it. I will admit it. This is the most nervous I have been for an Ohio State-Michigan game since we had Fickle as head coach. And I don't count that game because we were just basically run, Braxton, run, save us, please God, score. That's what that year was.
If only DeVere Posey would have laid out for that bomb near the end.
So I really don't even count that one, but it counts in the record books.
Yeah.
This is the most nervous I've been for an Ohio State-Michigan game. So I'm going to keep it real. I'm nervous. But let me tell you, if Michigan loses this game, I don't want to hear nothing from anybody anywhere. If they win, I'll come on here. I'll grill it. I'll eat it. Give props when props is due. But if they lose, oh boy. Because all I've heard all week is this is their year, their time. Like I hear every freaking year. This is it. Ohio State's done. Once they lose this game, Urban's out the door. And you got to recreate the wheel. And it's over. You give up 51 points to Maryland, which was absolutely pathetic. And I stand by it.
Sure.
But all the pressure's on Michigan. Absolutely, because we're not supposed to win.
And see, that's why I'm not as nervous as you are.
Oh, I'm nervous.
I'm certainly nervous because I don't want to lose. But in the last, I don't know, at least really since Urban's been here, all the pressure's been on us. Because first it was, well, you should beat them. You should beat them. And then it was like, if you don't beat them, then you're not going to the playoffs. Well, right now, I'm not worried about that because this team doesn't look like a playoff team. And unless absolute chaos happens in the last 2 weeks of the season, we're not getting in. And I'm okay with that. I've accepted that. All I want to do is beat this team. And it's almost like we have nothing to lose because they are the ones, they're favored. This is their best team. And it comes down to, you know what it comes down to is if they don't beat us this year, when are they going to do it? Because with the craziness that this program has gone through this whole year, Coach Meyer, the whole year, all this Zach Smith drama, blah, 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 all this health stuff, is he going to collapse on the sideline, blah, 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 blah. This is the season for the Wolverines to beat Ohio State.
It is.
And if they don't do it,
then Harbaugh's their Cooper.
yeah.
If he doesn't pull this one off, Harbaugh's their Cooper. I mean, it's there. I've been seeing it all week. Now, I'm not saying every one of their fans say this. I'm not saying that because I don't want everybody to say, well, I didn't say it. I didn't say it. But a lot of them say it. A lot of them. I see it. I read them. I should screenshot every one. And then
You want to pull out receipts.
right. Calling them out. I'm saying, listen. Guarantees. All right. Going to YouTube here after my rant.
Yeah, I got a good comment over here, too.
Yeah. My mother is in the comment section on YouTube.
Mama.
Cheryl. My
Cheryl.
mama.
That's my grandma's name.
She goes, hey.
Like your coworker.
She goes, well, coworker was Sherry. But
Sherry Cheryl.
Yeah.
I call my grandma both. Well, I call her grandma both.
I call my mama mom. Anyways. She says, I hope the Buckeyes surprise us all on Saturdays and we'll be asking where did this team come from?
Sign me up.
And Wild from YouTube says, he's predicting 2 games.
Hey.
He says Ohio State 42, Michigan 41.
Oh.
He's coming from a barn burner.
Oh.
He wants me laid
I don't
out
think I can
on the
handle that.
table. Wild, I don't know if I can do that one. And then he says Ohio State in the Big Ten title game 52, Northwestern 17.
I might get us in. John Finley Emerson in here says, what can the Buckeyes do differently on defense to stop the Wolverines? Carrie said, stop them from scoring.
Right.
She's not wrong. Jonathan says, play disciplined assignment defense and tackle. Then we have a shot. And Ori Penny Jr. says, Bosa shutting it down had an impact on the defense. I'd agree with that for sure, of course. But, John, to get back to your point here, what can we do to slow them down? I think we need to adjust sooner. It seemed like it took almost till halftime to make any adjustments against Maryland because they were running this motion that would take our safety away, and we had to replace him with our backside cornerback. So we had nobody guarding the left side, and they'd run to the left side, and there's nobody there. Not one person was there. And after about, 2 times, maybe the 81-yard touchdown run or the 75-yard touchdown run, we would have made the adjustment there. Okay, here's what they're doing. We have to adjust earlier. And I think it was another John in here, Jonathan Guerin said, we have to tackle. We missed 8 or 9 big tackles on Saturday, and that can't happen. We have to limit them to the smallest amount of yards possible, and that sounds super, really dumb. But that's the way it is. This team is not a big play, chunk play team. This is a grind-it-out team, work the clock. The Wolverines are going to they want to get 5 yards on first down, 5 yards on – they want to get 5 yards every time. And then when they lull you to sleep with that, they'll take their deep shot over the top to Donovan Peoples-Jones. And it's worked for them. It's worked very well. He normally has 3 or 4 catches a game, about 80 yards, and 60 of them come on one play. They lull you to sleep with that little game, and then they'll take their shot. But that's it. Then they'll get back to that little plug and play. So those missed tackles cannot happen. If they get 8 yards off a play instead of what should have been 3 or 4, and that happens a couple times, it's going to kill us. Can't happen.
And you're right. And Brian McGee, my guy, I've been preaching this all year. I throw things. I want to roll on the floor. He says, defenders, look at the freaking ball when it's in the air.
What a concept.
That will solve plenty. Thank you, Brian. I'm sure all fans cringe when they see that ball go deep. I'm sure when every quarterback on the opposing team throws a shot deep, our stomach sinks in and goes, oh, Lord.
Well, and the worst part about it is the fact that they don't turn their head just makes the referees that much more likely to throw a flag. Because if there's contact there, but you're both kind of looking for the ball, they might let you get away with that. All right, they're both going for the ball. But if you're the defensive back and you're not looking at the ball and there's some contact and the wide receivers kind of flailing out like they like to do, get some calls, they're much more likely to call that pass interference. And it seems to happen almost every deep ball. It's either caught or there's a flag thrown. Like you said, every time it's thrown deep, you're like, shit.
It drives me
Here we
insane.
go.
I seen a comment. I lost it.
Uh-oh.
Yes. Ori Penny Jr., thanks for the comment. Are you sold on Haskins? I'm biased. Yes.
Yeah.
But here's the problem. They don't let Haskins be Haskins. Read option, no. Let him throw the freaking ball. Let him throw it. If our corners don't turn their head, maybe their corners don't turn their head either. How about we throw a shot down the field on 1st and 10, not 3rd and 16, and we have to throw the ball? Throw it down the field. Maybe their corners play stupidly like ours do too at times. Maybe they won't turn around. Maybe the ball will hit them in the back of the head, and they'll get a 15-yard penalty if the ball is thrown short. Take a shot down the field. We are playing college defenders as well. Don't give them the easy route. Don't all run 7-yard comebacks, and then we're all looking around of where to throw the ball. Stretch the field. Show them you'll throw it deep.
Aaron Lake says, stop explosive plays and get off the field on 3rd down. That's huge. You got to limit the possessions they get because they're going to chew a lot of clock off. They're going to have a great time of possession, and that's going to be, it's going to be tough. Eric Wilson says it's 6:35 here in Colorado, and ... I'm guessing he's coming back with a Michigan still sucks. And I'm excited to see it, Eric. So put it in there.
And Sack 3074 on YouTube says, play more Tate Martell, just like Meyer played Tebow and Chris League against us in the BCS championship.
I don't know what game you're talking about. That was too long ago. 12 years ago. Whoever the head coach of that Florida team was, though, I hate that guy.
Man, I don't know who that guy was.
Oh, Carrie says the Wolverines stall in the red zone. As long as we can hold them, that's good. Jimmy Griffin Jr. This Cajun Buckeye says, go Bucks. Geaux. Go Bucks. I got Ohio State 31-24. feel like we're going to see a team that we haven't seen in a while because of the rivalry. Be all right with that. Eddie Stats says, sorry, in class right now, but real quick, he's got the Wolverines 24-16. He says Higgins will be a beast in this game. I'm guessing he means Higdon. And Eddie, I'm sorry to hear you say that because he called the Purdue loss, and he was, well, accurate. John Goddard.
But he called something else, and he was wrong. So we're 1-1. I got to blow just a little light on that one.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. He's not always right. Not every time. Colin says, Buckeyes chew up number 14. Let's expose him again this year. I'm not sure who number 14 is, to be honest with you. It's not their quarterback.
Oh, man. That's a good question on YouTube I have no answer for. Hopefully
Uh-oh.
you can help me out.
All right.
Hopefully the fans can help me out.
Help
on
us
this
out,
one.
fans.
We have a great question on YouTube from Sack3074. Who should cover People Jones?
Well,
Well.
he's more of a deep shot kind of guy.
Mm-hmm. Arnett's gone.
Arnett,
Bye-bye.
I'd be okay if he just never played again for the Buckeyes. I've been saying that for 3 years. So it comes down to Kendall Sheffield or Jeffrey Okudah. I think Okudah is more of a physical receiver. So he might line up more with Nico Collins, who's 6'4", the Wolverines' other big guy, their other big wide receiver, and maybe we'll get Kendall Sheffield because he's kind of a speedster.
Yeah.
Sheffield's made some plays, but he tends to get himself into those PI calls.
I was going to say Sheffield because of his speed, but if they all play the same technique, that's why I said help me out. It really doesn't matter at the end of the day. Sheffield has had plays where he is right there.
Yeah.
The play where they scored a touchdown, he was
all over
right
him.
there. He even tipped it. But guess what?
It's a great play.
If you turned around, you might catch it.
Very interesting.
So that's why I said it's a great question, because the technique they play, it's just, man.
Andres Geraldo says, I grew up with Jeffrey. He was in my younger sister's grade. That's pretty sweet. Grand Prairie, Texas. Is that correct? Let me know. Michael Egan says, Sheffield on Collins is bad news. Sheffield on Collins is bad news, I think, because he's, more of a speedster, less of a physical guy. Nico Collins is 6'4", I believe. Here, he's had a pretty solid season. I didn't put the stats down, of course, because I am not a professional. Apparently, I wrote down the stats for everybody else, not Nico Collins. But he's 6'4". He's a big receiver. He's a possession guy. And Okudah, I think, would match up better with him because he's more physical. Yeah. Sheffield's the speedster. Donovan Peoples-Jones the speedster. That seems to make sense.
So who do we put Arnett on?
The bench. But really, though, I mean, hey, I'm telling you.
And what scares me is the deep shots that they're going to take. That's what scares me the most. And our linebacking core, I tell you. I mean, it's just
Tell us.
woo. Borland on the fumble.
Hey, did you see Tough Borland was the defensive player of the game? Coach Meyer said.
He had to pick somebody, didn't he?
Did he?
He's not going to be like us. Nobody.
He should be.
He should be. Fall on
Tressel
the ball.
was like that. James Laurinaitis was saying on the radio the other day that, like, he and Malcolm Jenkins would never let that happen. Like, not only that they scored 51 points, because that would never happen with that defense, but if they were to have that, there would be no player of the game. You cheesing over there.
Yeah, I got a question for Big C Got Game. The bench said, he said, the bench, man, Arnett, he blocked me on IG, SMH. What did you do?
Oh, what did you say?
Did you roast him?
Please. Like any receiver he's ever covered, you toast him? Come on. Let us know what you had to say, though. That's nice. Robert Collins says, Josh Metellus, number 14. Watch tape. Yeah, he's the safety. He's their he's not very sharp. Shawnee Weber joins the program.
Oh, is your brother okay?
Is he okay? Fan
Please,
favorite here. Shawnee
let
Weber.
us know. Is he okay?
That quad bruise, I hope, is healthy by this Saturday because we need Mikey to touch the ball about 30 times.
And Brian McGee says someone has to keep the bench warm.
Somebody. Put Arnett over there. Andre says, nope, he grew up in New Jersey before he moved to Texas. I still think he is the best cornerback we have. I would totally agree with that. Sheffield's been kind of a disappointment. Damon Arnett belongs in a trash can, and Okudah shows a lot of potential, and I really like him. You know who nobody's talking about this week is Brendan White. Nobody. The local kid. Yeah. He knows this rivalry. His dad played in this rivalry. His dad's not doing so hot with ALS. Look that up. I don't have the link.
That is a good point. That is a very good point. After that Maryland game, nobody's talking about anybody on that defense right now. And I don't blame them.
Nope.
I don't blame them.
Nope.
Devastation 11 on YouTube. Thank you for watching. He says, never been so nervous about this game in a long time. I'm super nervous about Saturday. And Big C got game. Says, bro, I didn't do anything. I had a Buckeyes Dynasty on YouTube. Tag dude and pick, and he blocked me. So put dude on the bench. He said it was a gaming channel.
What a chump.
Wow.
Damon Arnett, man.
Love our fans. And Shawnee says, yes, he is just fine and will be playing on Saturday.
Yes.
Our fans give us an inside scoop. Breaking news. Everything news. Buckeyes Nation. Mike Weber is just fine. Will be playing. Thank goodness.
He'll be playing on Saturday. So to all the big-time media outlets, please credit Jake Smith, Corey Boyd, Producer G, and Shawnee Weber for the breaking news. Mike Weber, just fine. Will be playing Saturday. Thank the good man above, because this is his type of game. A tough, grinded-out game. Kid's from Detroit. He knows this rivalry better than anybody. And to have him score the game-clinching, the dagger touchdown last year into my end zone, I was sitting in with my dad. Oh, my goodness. I'm getting all tingly just thinking about it. But this is a Mike Weber game. This is a Mike Weber game.
Hit the hole, north-south, pound it, get up, feed me again. That kind of game. Open up the play. Just throw a shot, man. Play action.
Hey, we'll take – no. We've got some stuff up the sleeve.
Wow.
I'm telling you. I'm excited. Joe Harn says, does the O-line need to change? Maybe, Joe. I don't think Michael Jordan is very good at playing center. It's just not his natural position. It's another one of those, why are we running Dwayne Haskins 15 times? Why do we put a 6'7" guy at center? It doesn't make sense. You're trying to put a square peg into a round hole, and it doesn't work that way. So what should be done is, now that Brady Taylor's back to being okay, we've got guys healthy on the offensive line now for the first time all season, move Michael Jordan back to guard where he belongs. But it's really late in the season for that. And Urban said it himself in press conferences. I don't anticipate making any changes at this point in the season. And I understand. I mean, you don't really want to come into this game and try something new on the offensive line when guys have been playing together in those spots, in the trenches for 11 games this year. So while it might get the best 5 on the field, they don't have the experience, and you don't, necessarily, maybe they wouldn't gel correctly, and you don't want to have that problem in the game.
And I love the question, and piggybacking off you, there's nothing like your snap not being guaranteed. It's not guaranteed.
Haskins playing shortstop back there.
It can be low. It could be off a little bit. This is not the game for that. You can't have that. He should be practicing snaps right now.
He might be.
I hope so. Because we can't have that, especially, and I know, poor Martell. Poor Martell. And you know what that is, though? Do you know what it is? How many snaps has he snapped to Martell?
Apparently not very much.
The height difference. Look at it. It's huge.
A generous 5'11".
It's huge.
8 inches.
And that has to be a big key of why both times Tatus came into the game, both times he has snapped it horrendously off. You cannot have that, especially in a game like this. I can't take it. I will lose my mind if we have one of those plays against this team.
Yeah, especially in the game with this type of, finishing, I'm losing the word I'm trying to think of, but with this type of outcome for the Big Ten, it's not just the game. It's also to go to the Big Ten title game and probably come out with a Big Ten championship ring. We can't have those stupid mistakes. no penalties, no false starts. For the love of God, Isaiah Prince. You're a senior. You're a captain. He jumps early every time. Every snap that's a pass. Watch him. And I'm sure people in the comments, let me know. I'm sure you've seen it. Isaiah Prince jumps just a touch early every single time. And they called it on us a few times against Minnesota and a few times against Purdue. And it just can't happen. We can't have any dumb mistakes, no penalties, no false starts. I understand a hold here or there. That's going to happen. That's football. False starts is mental. You don't have to do that. And the same thing with bad snaps. It's repetition. There's no reason why we should be having bad snaps in the final week of the regular season.
Yes.
Every
play, he false starts. He got away with, I forget what play it was. I said, dude, he false started and we got away with it. He just jumped
we
back.
Said it on the call.
Yeah, I said, oh my goodness, that's a false start.
Yeah.
They didn't call it.
And we got a first down. It was like in overtime.
Yeah, they didn't call it. I'm like, oh my goodness. He cannot do that.
Robert Collins says it's a Drew Chrisman type game.
I hope not.
He's a weapon, man.
A weapon I don't want to use.
Well, yeah, but let's be real.
He's going to be out there. I mean, not like Michigan State. Hopefully I don't want it to be like that because that's not a good sign. I don't want to have to rely on our punter to keep pinning them inside the 3 for us to win. I want our offense to be able to score some points. I know they're the best defense in the nation, but if we have to go out there and go, we're punting from our 30, and we got to hope that he pins them deep because we can't even move the ball. Now, if we can flip the field and then I can take that. But sure. If we're just 3 and out, our 30, please save us, Drew. We can't have that.
No, we can't. But he will come up with a couple big plays, I'm sure, and having Terry McLaurin and Johnny Dixon as those gunners getting down there, stopping the ball inside the 10. That's what I'm talking about. There was a really good comment here I wanted to shout out. Perhaps, maybe not. Maybe I just wanted to say something, and now I can't remember. Oh, here we go. Mark A. Peter.
I knew this was you looking for.
Sneak some tight end passes on misdirection. I love it. How about, now this is a play we haven't talked about all night. Mm-hmm. Against Maryland.
I know what you're talking about. Go
ahead.
I
know. At 4th and 1 in overtime, everybody thinks the run is coming. That's all we've done all game. And the balls to call a play action, little dump off to Rashad Berry, the tight end, on 4th and 1. All Maryland would need was a field goal, and they got an outstanding field goal kicker. And we go to pass it on 4th and 1 with a little misdirection, dump off to the tight end. He gets 10 yards. We end up scoring. What a great call. We need to see a little bit more than that, or more of that. I love that, where the tight end just sneaks out a little bit. You hit him with a check down, he gets 5, 6, 7 yards instead of a straight plain run play or trying to bang a slant. Mix it up a little bit. And that was a huge play call at the biggest point of the game.
I didn't even see that coming. I was like,
no, we were like, damn.
Here comes a run.
Rashad Berry.
Up the middle. No? Beautiful call.
Great question here. We've got about 10 minutes left, so we'll get to our bold predictions here shortly. But great question posed by Gary Likens. He said, what is your favorite The Game moment? Great question. Let us know in the comments section. However long you've been watching Ohio State football, you've been watching The Game. So let us know what your favorite moment is in any of the games in prior history. Anything stick out to you, Corey?
This comment that Carrie just made.
Oh.
She says, anyone notice Haskins leans forward on run plays and leans back on pass plays? I don't know if anyone has noticed it.
Maybe it's a setup.
Interesting.
Maybe he's going to be leaning forward on the first play of the game and be like, psych.
Very interesting.
Touchdown.
And Devastation 11 on YouTube says, I hate Prince every time. And Big C Got Game on YouTube says, Jordan should have been moved to tackle or keep him at guard.
Yeah, I mean, he's 6'7". You don't want a 6'7" center. It doesn't make any sense. Hell, when Jacoby Bourne was a center and we won it all in 2014, he was barely 6 foot. I mean, you want kind of like a runt guy almost. You know, that sounds bad, but you want the smaller guy to be center and kind of build out. That's just how it makes sense. It just works that way. He said, don't ignore my comment. I didn't, Mr. Likens. I asked the fans. And we'll get to that in a moment.
The fans are just worried about
Mark Peters says, remember the wide receiver throw in the game against Alabama? Oh, baby.
So he skipped Michigan. He went straight to Alabama.
Hey, that was one of my favorites of all time. Kurt Michael, why do they not play Baron Browning over Tough Borland? I get the injuries the past 2 weeks, but they need to get this kid on the field. He is all healthy and ready to go. He'll be playing this week, so hopefully the kid will make some plays. David Campbell says, I went to the O2. The game was an amazing win. Wow. How about Will Allen's pick at the end? David, let me know how you were thinking. The Wolverines and John Navarre driving down the field. Oh, my God. I was at my grandma's. My cousin Scotty, we were throwing up. I
think I was at the car dealer. I think I was at a car dealership. Yeah, I was getting a car. Yeah.
Like watching the game on a little TV. Oh,
yeah, no, we were all watching the game. Yeah.
All right. Gary wants to know our favorite moments. So, you've got a lot more time on this earth than I have. So, I'll go ahead and go first. This dude, oh man, he said, I remember being 31.
Oh man.
My favorite memory is probably the Curtis Samuel double overtime touchdown run with the celebration into the end zone like he's on the Titanic. I was there for that double overtime game in 2016. The spot was good. JT was not short. In fact, he got the first down. It was a good spot. And on the very next play, wouldn't you know, Curtis Samuel, the walk-off touchdown. I love it. That was mine personally. I've been to a few others. I went to the 2004 game when the Buckeyes were underdogs. The Ted Ginn punt return moment, definitely up there. But I think the Curtis Samuel touchdown was that was my favorite moment.
I would say game when they were number 1 and number 2.
Mm-hmm.
That game was just too much for my heart. Play. Gonzo and Troy.
Oh, the catch in 2005.
Yeah,
is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that game took years off my life.
I believe it.
Troy Smith owned Michigan. Yeah, he owned them.
I'm wearing a Troy jersey on Saturday.
Yeah, Troy to Gonzo. There's a lot.
The catch 2005.
Braxton and Hyde. And they just ran all over Michigan. You couldn't stop
2013.
One after another.
You remember that Braxton Miller touchdown? Because you posted it.
I posted it.
That double juke.
Yes.
Oh my
goodness.
God. That safety.
It was
had
one
no
after
chance.
another. You pick your poison. Who was you going to stop? That's another one. I mean, just so many in this decade because it's just been a mastery. Now, the 90s, I just block out. I don't remember those.
No. I was a baby.
I don't know.
I couldn't tell you. Kurt Michael, do you think they let Tate throw out of the read option this week? If they put him in there, I'd like to see him throw it just to keep the defense honest. Yeah. Maybe run a little trick play action. Clay Lodeman, I was there too. Carrie Lynn, how about this Saturday when the Wolverines go for a field goal to win the game and it's wide left and misses?
Carrie, I don't want to get down to that. I'll pass out.
I believe that. Clay Lodeman stormed the field. Robert Collins, 42-39, he says. That was the number 1, number 2 game. And Mark A. Peters says, my favorite moment was when Peppers talked all that trash and Zeke laid him out. That was that's an underrated play because it was a J.T. Barrett sweep run. And Zeke heads out there as the lead blocker and goes right at Peppers' knees, and Peppers does a friggin' cartwheel in the air. Oh, man, that was just lovely.
Over at YouTube, we got a couple. Wow, we are brothers. We are brothers.
Who?
Clyde.
Well,
Troy Smith passed to Anthony Gonzalez in the big house.
Look at these guys.
That must be a play.
Hey.
Big C got game. How did I forget? Yes.
Uh-oh.
David Boston and Charles Woodson throwing punches. I mean, they went at it. Now, that's when they got the best of us, but that's okay back in those days. But and he said, and Curtis Samuel sweep left to the house.
Ohio State wins. What a great call by Chris Fowler.
And sack 3074, Beanie Wells first TD against the team up north.
06, the spin move in the backfield. Oh, we need to put some highlights up over the next couple days.
Yeah.
Get these plays up, man.
Yeah, on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe.
Yeah. For real, though, please. And go to our YouTube page, search everything Buckeye Nation, hit the subscribe, smash that like button for us, please. We really appreciate you. This is the Everything Buckeye Nation show. Producer G Production on Fan Chat Nation. We are here every Tuesday night, 7:30 to 9. And
if for some reason you can't watch us right now,
yeah,
whatever you're doing, or if you just want to watch again on YouTube, subscribe, or listen.
Oh.
You just want to listen to us when you're at work,
sure,
doing your work.
Why not?
iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play. We're on there too.
Count them off.
For your listening pleasure. Oh, yeah.
We're all over the place, folks. So really trying to help this grow. It is the Everything Buckeye Nation show. We are all in this together. Please hook us up. And thank you to Shawnee Weber. I will share you guys everywhere else.
Thank you, Shawnee.
Man, oh, man.
And we're going to be here Saturday.
We're going to be here Saturday. The game, 12
YouTube.
noon.
Everything Buckeye Nation. Woo!
I'm nervous just thinking about it. We better get fired up.
Got to get my censor button ready.
Beep. I can't believe that they just completed that.
Yes, Devastation 11. We will be on Saturday during the game calling play-by-play. He will be doing play-by-play. I will be doing color commentary.
You're the color commentator.
Color commentary. It's going to be fun. We will do our best to call it down the line. But if we sway to the Buckeye side a little bit, this is Everything Buckeye Nation.
It is.
Just saying.
We're not Kirk Herbstreit up here. We're not getting paid, as you said earlier, to call it right down the middle. So we might be a little biased, but hey.
Big C Got Game says on YouTube, I'm kicking my wife and son out of the house so I can watch this game. LOL.
Who's that, Big Mike?
Big C Got
Big
Game on YouTube.
Make sure you're in with us on the watch party.
Yes.
Yeah.
Devastation say, heck yes, looking forward to bringing us home a win, gentlemen. The watch party, we will be here.
Mm-hmm.
Ready. Woo! Nervous. Let's go.
Carrie says she's working. She'll be on. She'll tune in on her 25-minute break on Saturday. David Campbell says, get the flu. Well, let's get to our bold predictions here, folks, with just a few minutes left.
Dun, 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 dun.
Da, 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 da. And here we are. The Wolverines have their best squad yet under Jim Harbaugh. Shea Patterson at quarterback, completing 66% of his passes, almost 2,200 yards, 18 touchdowns to just 4 picks. They got their tailback, Karan Higdon, who guaranteed a victory. Some talented wide receivers. And a pretty solid offensive line that's improved a lot under Ed Warner, former Ohio State offensive line coach and OC. And he was god-awful as the offensive coordinator. The defense, though, probably number 1 in the nation, led by Rashawn Gary and Chase Winovich, who may or may not play yet, got injured late in the Indiana game last week. They haven't said if he's going to play yet or not. This is the type of kid to where I expect him to play, even if he can't use his left arm. This kid is the type of kid you want on your team. He's an absolute stud, and I would be very shocked if he missed. But if he couldn't play, it'd be a big sigh of relief for the Buckeyes.
I won't lose any sleep.
I won't either. Devin Bush leads the solid linebacker group, and the secondary leads the nation in opposing completion percentage, passing yards per attempt, and passing yards allowed per game. Buckeyes are going to have to play their best game of the season, be elite on offense to have a shot in this one. I think it comes down to coaching, scheme. Most prepared team will win. So, that being said, let us know your score predictions, bold predictions in the comments. Noel says Winovich will play. Totally agree. Jimmy Wolford, 34-24. And our defense special teams will get a touchdown. I like that. Kerry Lynn, 42-17. Sign me up
For that.
Woo.
Y'all will see me lose my mind if that happens.
Yeah.
Lose it.
Mark Peter asked about the recruiting. We will get to that in a later show when we don't have negative 15 seconds left and a bold prediction to get to. Gus Sharp says our linebackers really have to step up. So I completely agree. You went first on the players of the game, so I'll go first. I'll take this one.
All right.
I have the Buckeyes coming away with a very, very nice victory. 31-27. It's going to be very close. I got our guy Mike Weber with 120 yards and a score. I think Haskins carries the ball a lot more than we want him to. I got 15 carries for Haskins as a bold prediction. 3 total touchdowns, 1 on the ground, 2 through the air. Buckeyes take this one 31-27. And the Buckeyes win for the 14th time in 15 years.
All right. Now, before I go. Got a couple over here on YouTube.
Okay.
Big C got game. I appreciate this comment. This is why I love the fans and what we do. He says, "Gotcha, bro. My first time watching. You guys are dope." Big C.
Our guy.
Appreciate that.
Thank you, Big C.
Sack 3074 says OSU 56, the team up north 49.
Oh.
And Big C got game says Ohio State 52, the team up north. He says I'm sorry. They both said the Ohio State, by the way. My bad, fellas.
They're not wrong.
The Ohio State 52, the team up north 21. He says Haskins has a legendary moment. Mike goes for 125 and 2 scores.
I love it.
So, this is something I do on Everything Browns Nation.
Oh.
So G knows about this.
This is a big dog.
So, you're all on Ohio State, except Eddie. You're all picking the Buckeyes to win, huh? Interesting. Knowing all the numbers and the stats and that crappy defense you've seen last week.
Uh-oh.
Woo! Everybody said they love me, may boo me right now.
Uh-oh.
So, you got to be kidding me. I'm going with Ohio State, too.
Man.
Ain't no way I'm picking that
to walk
team
off this
for
set.
nothing. I don't care if we're 0-11. I would never pick them. Now, like I said, I'm very nervous about this game. I'm going to be honest. Our defense has been stinking up the joint. Can't stop one man from running 299 yards.
That was last week.
But, bold prediction. Chase Young makes an appearance.
Please.
He's sick of hearing all this. Where's Boza? His braids are going to be extra tight this game. I mean, he's going to get a new braider because he hasn't been getting any sacks. Tighten up those braids.
Tighten them up.
3 sacks. Count them. Not 1, not 2, but 3. A forced fumble and 2 tackles for a loss.
In addition to the
sacks.
Wow.
Bold, because our defense ain't been doing nothing.
They're called bold for a reason, folks.
Haskins, 275 yards, 3 touchdowns, and Ohio State wins a squeaker, 27-23.
We both got 4-point wins.
And I'll be having a heart
attack.
attack when I'm
I
here.
got one for you.
All right. Producer G's turn.
I'll take the Buckeyes to win. Well, I guess I'll just give you the score first. You guys kind of went your bold prediction first. 30-21.
30-21.
And Ohio State scores on offense, defense, and special teams.
Oh, baby. We're going to
baby.
need it.
We're going to need it.
We are going to need it. Some of the fans in here. Clay Lodeman, 48-35, he says. I assume Buckeyes. Kurt Michael, 31-27. That's what I said. I like it, Kurt. Darnell Morgan, Buckeyes, 30-24. Mark Peters just says, Ohio State wins, Michigan loses. I'll take that one. Robert Collins, Gus Johnson yells Dwayne Haskins 3 times. Buckeyes win 47-42. Shawnee Weber says Ohio State 37, Michigan 24. And she says Mikey goes for 120 and 2 scores. I like that.
Sign up for that.
Carrie says Haskins and Tate, players of the game, think they will rely on the passing game heavily. Laura BP says, Shawnee, send a hug to your brother and the team. I like that. Bring it all in together. Jimmy Walford, just subscribe to the YouTube channel, Our Guy. Jimmy,
Yeah,
thank
you guys
very much.
follow his footsteps.
Michael Egan.
And Kawhi thanks you too.
Yes, indeed. Michael Egan, Paris Campbell, 7 catches, 150 and 2 scores, 42-39 Buckeyes. Mark says maybe the defense gets some pride and plays balls to the wall. Hope so. Shawnee says KJ Hill 1 touchdown. We didn't mention KJ or really Paris Campbell tonight, but last year in the game, KJ Hill was Dwayne's go-to guy on third downs and in big situations. So hope to see that. No Austin Mack, that hurts. He made that hell of a catch last year. But it is going to be an exciting one, folks. That is for sure. Robert Collins, OH. Noel says IO.
Got a couple more over here.
Hit him.
SAC, Sack 3074. He says, Young is the next Vernon Golston. And Big C Got Game is shouting out producer G's bold prediction. He goes, That's hella bold.
Hey.
He says special teams. When was the last time we had a kick return or punt return for a TD? Then he says LOL. So he is filling.
Bold.
He is filling
Damn.
producer G's bold prediction.
Got to go bold.
I dig it. Maybe Demario McCall takes the opening kickoff back for 6.
All right.
Sign me up for that one.
Mark it down.
Mark it down.
All right, folks. We will be back here with you live on Saturday, 12 noon for the game. The watch party, play-by-play. We'll be calling it. Please join us. Subscribe to the YouTube page, Everything Buckeye Nation. Here you can see it on
Subscribe.
there. It's looking sharp. Please give us a like, a share,
Let's
subscribe.
Let's
We're
go.
Live streaming every Tuesday, 7:30 to 9. We appreciate your comments. Everybody tuning in. Shawnee, always a great show. Thank you. Carrie, follow. Thank you. Clay, you know Johnny D shows up for big games. I like that. Man, oh man, we have an exciting one this weekend, folks.
Woo!
We'll be here live, multicast on Facebook and YouTube. Everything Buckeye Nation here live, Saturday, 12 noon.
Oh, man.
For Corey Boyd, the birthday boy, producer G.
Happy birthday, homie.
I'm
Thank
Jake
you.
Smith signing off, saying go Bucks. And OH,
Help me.
go Bucks. Beat that team up north. See ya
Yeah.
on Saturday.